macroeconomic framework is very important in the formulation of economic policy to understand and resolve economic-related issues and serve as a tool for determining future policy plans. Bappenas, as a ministry in charge of preparing development planning, requires a macroeconomic framework to determine each development policy plan to be taken. Macroeconomic as an anchor in determining the future economic direction. The result of macroeconomic framework in the future will be the basis for determining fiscal resource inflow, investment needs, and also development targets such as unemployment rate, poverty rate, Gini ratio, human development index, greenhouse gas emission at the national and regional level.
The macroeconomic framework formulation process starts 2 years prior to the implementation year. We monitor and evaluate all macroeconomic indicators and policies to set up basic macroeconomic assumptions. During the process, we gather the input from across central line ministers and local governments and stakeholders, including private sectors, academicians, and think tank units, to produce updated and credible macroeconomic framework. To capture the recent economic development, which is very dynamic and also broad, we need tools to support our analysis to formulate macroeconomic framework. We greatly appreciate continuous support from Arise Plus Indonesia in improving our technical skills and knowledge, especially in building tailored macroeconomic model for Indonesia and deliver capacity building for planners.
Our collaboration with Bappenas during the last 3.5 years on macroeconomic planning has been very fruitful and productive. We've seen a very dedicated and committed team, and we have seen, for example, very good results in terms of policy briefings. I have been very particularly impressed with the briefings that they have done during the trainings. We're also happy to see that they are moving to the next level with the incorporation of the energy and emissions model, which will allow Indonesia to plan its growth trajectory in a way that is sustainable and also allow Indonesia to have an energy transition that is fair and just for everyone.
Oxford Economics have worked in close cooperation with the EU and Emerging Markets International under the existing Arise Plus programme and previously under the Trade Cooperation Facility. More recently, in 2019, the overriding objective of our engagement was to provide macroeconomic modelling support to Indonesia, initially through the development of a trade and investment model, expanding the existing Oxford Economics Indonesia model from around 500 indicators to over 15,000 on a quarterly frequency. It was essential the economic impacts of targeted policies could be quantified within the model, and as such we have assisted Bappenas in the macroeconomic evaluation of several policies, including the investment analysis on the economic recovery of 6 subsectors following the pandemic, including the chemical industry and electric vehicle industry. Another example was the modelling of the import substitution programme of up 35% in 2022 in the context of national economic recovery. This week is a further example of capacity building, as a team from Oxford Economics has travelled to Jakarta to conduct a week-long in-person training programme to those from multiple directorates, building on the training we held in Bali in 2019. The purpose of this forum is to showcase further enhancements to the economic capabilities through the addition of an energy and emissions model. This will allow the multiple directorates to assess the macroeconomic and fiscal impact of different climate policies, including the introduction of carbon taxes, increased electrification, carbon capture, and investments in renewables for the production of electricity. It has been a privilege to be at this event and to have the opportunity to showcase the EU's efforts through Arise Plus in helping Indonesia assess potential cost-effective pathways to emissions targets.
The economic modeling from Oxford Economics is very powerful tool, covering more than 108 countries with interrelated economic indicators that can be used to look at global and domestic economic phenomena. The analytic tools complemented with capacity building facilitated by Arise Plus Indonesia has significantly supported us in developing a more robust and comprehensive macroeconomic framework and forecasting to fit the Sustainable National Development Planning.